let me just also remind everyone about a very, very important point as we approach the month of Ramadan, and that is for those of you before from last Ramadan. Some of you may have missed certain days of Ramadan due to a valid reason, a valid excuse. So you missed a couple of days, and what you're supposed to do is whenever you're able to, you have to make up for those days. You have to do qada. Now, if you haven't done qada until now for those days, and the month of Ramadan, the next Ramadan is approaching, we have about 7 days left. You have to, make up for those days now before this month of Ramadan comes. That is if you are able to, right? Meaning that the excuse that allowed you to break your fast last Ramadan, uh, it no longer exists. For example, you were ill, but you're no longer ill. You have to make up these days, right? And you're not allowed to delay it for after Ramadan. You can't say, okay, I'll do it after Ramadan. Uh, you are sinful if you do that, right? Intentionally, without any valid excuse. And as for those who their excuse has continued until now, for example, they were diagnosed with a certain illness and they still have that illness until now that prevented them from fasting. So these people are excused, right? We're not talking about these people. For such people, they are excused whenever their excuse is gone and they don't have that excuse anymore for not fasting. That is when they have to make up those missed days from last Ramadan. An example of this is also pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers, and generally speaking, that continues, right? If there was a woman who was pregnant and she wasn't able to fast because of that, and now it continues, right? The pregnancy continues, or right after pregnancy, she had the postnatal bleeding, so she wasn't able to fast, and then she started breastfeeding her child, and that is continuous, right? So such women, we're not talking about them, right? If you are a woman like that and you missed from some days from last Ramadan, and your excuse continues, then you have the opportunity to do it later on, insha'Allah ta'ala.